think of your feet as beautiful, consider the following passage. Everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. How then will they call on him whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in him of whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone preaching? And how are they to preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who preach the good news. If you are a witness about Jesus, it's fun to realize that God in His infinite wisdom thinks that your feet are beautiful, and by extension, the rest of you as well. John chapter 1, verse 8 states that John came as a witness to the light of Jesus. The following verses restate the idea that the true light of Jesus was in the world, and yet His own people did not receive Him. However, for all who did receive Him, He gave them the right to become children of God. Think back to the time when you became a Jesus follower. How did that come about? For many, we came to know Jesus through family or friends. Perhaps others came to know Him by reading the Bible or instinctively praying in the middle of a crisis. God used John as a witness to the light of Jesus. The Jews did not receive Jesus even though He was one of their own people. Your people, family, friends, and co-workers will probably be most receptive to hearing about Jesus through you. Think of 3 ways that show you are a testament, a living example of how Jesus has changed your life. A dove descending and remaining on the shoulder of Jesus was a sign for John that Jesus was the Son of God. We can think of that dove as a physical manifestation of God's Holy Spirit coming onto Jesus. Other manifestations of the Holy Spirit for us are the gifts of the Spirit, as outlined in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7 through 11. For to one is given through the Spirit the utterance of wisdom, and to another the utterance of knowledge, according to the same Spirit. To another faith by the same Spirit. To another gifts of healing by the one Spirit. To another the working of miracles. To another prophecy. To another the ability to distinguish between spirits. To another various kinds of tongues. To another the interpretation of tongues. All these are empowered by one and the same Spirit, who apportions to each one individually as He wills. So now we're going to try and make sense of all this by working through some questions together. Remember, we're going to read the questions and then put them on screen so you can pause the video and read the question together. The hope is that these questions will spark some great conversation and really help us digest and apply these truths. Okay, here's question 1. Read Romans chapter 10, verses 13 through 15. What does the Bible mean by beautiful feet? Give some modern day examples of this. Moving on to question 2. Now in this chapter, we read that John the Baptist also had disciples. Chapter 1, verses 35 through 40. Why do you think that John's disciples left John to follow Jesus so easily? What draws you to Jesus, or what keeps you from following Jesus? Okay, last one. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to read the daily reading segments out of the John series booklet. Now, if you haven't gotten one of those books yet, you can find them at the sign-up desk at church or on a downloadable version on the John series page on the church's website, canyonviewchurch.com. Okay, last question, question number 3. In the context of discipleship, what is the difference between being a fan of Jesus and being a follower of Jesus? In what areas of your life are you one or the other?